I have the lovely Elena Day, one of the top one of the top real estate professionals in the industry. I've known Elena for a very long time, probably over 15 years. And
15 plus, that's
yeah,
for sure.
15 plus for sure. So, we're here today. Thank you. And today you're actually our first guest on our first episode. So ding, 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 the bell goes off and you win $1 million. Anyways, Elena, tell us a little bit about yourself. When you started the business, obviously real estate, and where your success stems from.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here today. I really appreciate it, especially being the first one. My name is Elena Day, as Anthony had mentioned, and I've been in the business for 20 plus years. And I do believe we've been working together for over 15 years. Anthony Contento and his company, Sherwood Mortgages, is my number one go-to. Always
Awesome.
been and always will.
So Elena, some expert advice. What's your current take on the real estate market? Where do you see it going? How is it? What are you experiencing? And what are some of your customers saying?
I think I would say that in the past 6 months, it's been quite slow, but I have seen that the market have turned a corner, and it's been picking up in the past 2-3 weeks. Just for example, on my own properties that I have listings on, even a month ago, I haven't had anyone at the open house, but now we're actually seeing people coming in, and it's a serious buyers. It's not investors who are looking just for a good deal and just fishing around for can I buy? When is the mortgage due? Is there delinquency on the property? They're actually people who are looking to buy. I believe it's given the interest rates that are coming down. So we're seeing a shift into the buyer's market right now.
Okay, awesome. And it's always great to have them pre-approved prior to them showing.
Absolutely.
So certainly they know what they're looking for, and
Absolutely.
that it's always helpful for sure. When you're speaking to your clients, how would you advise them if they're unsure whether to buy now or later? Is there something that you say to them? Do you sit with them and maybe explain some of the market trends where you see it going? Like, what would be sort of your opinion to them, whether they should buy now or hold on to either selling or purchasing?
Anthony, it's a good question. I think it all depends on buyer's individual situation. A buyer could be an investor, a buyer could be an end user, a buyer could be a first-time home buyer. In today's market, I think whether it's an end user, an investor, or just a first-time home buyer, I think it's a great market to buy into right now because there's so many deals. And just give yourself how many days before closing? 60 days, so you can take advantage of the hopefully next rate drop.
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
A better mortgage opportunity, the financing and stuff. So. Really depends on the buyer and buyer's individual needs, but right now is the time to buy.
Yeah, great advice for sure. And as interest rates go down, obviously it benefits the buyers with the lower interest rates.
Yeah.
But we know that as the inventory shrinks, then we start seeing real estate go up. So definitely a great time to get into the market right now.
And there are some great deals out there right now.
Yeah, for sure. We're starting to see some pretty good listings coming out, and I know that you've got some pretty good listings coming up shortly. So that'll be certainly, we'll look forward to those. There's always market indicators, right, that we look for, and could you explain to us, or maybe what those buyers, do those indicators mean to the buyers? What should they look for when they're looking at it in the market? What should they be looking for? Are there any indicators that you would say, hey, look, is it interest rates? Could it be a shortness of inventory? What do you think? What would be some of those flags that you would see for the consumer to be looking at?
We're definitely right now have a short list of inventory. If we're looking at one particular category of price, let's say $1 million, $2.5 million, $2 to $3 million, there's only so many listings and properties available, unfortunately. But I think after the rate change, we are seeing more and more listings actually being their status have changed from new to sold condition, which is a great indicator. That's right now sales are happening. People are actually starting to buy. And the next thing is always they're asking, when is the next rate announcement? So and then I turn to you and I speak to Anthony.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
the expert, and he'll be able to get you pre-approved. He'll tell you how many days you need before closing. But once again, it really depends on the buyer's needs.
Yeah.
And you would speak to them and you'll see what actually, at the end of the day, what fits better, what fits their needs.
Yeah.
And you and I will speak and we'll talk and decide on the best route to take for them.
Yeah.
But once again, there's some great deals out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So some of those market indicators, I guess, would be, if the consumer starts seeing that there's less and less properties going up, and it's giving you an indicator that they're coming off the market.
And the signs turn from for sale to
sold. Yeah, to sold. So you want to make sure that you're one of those buyers that is going to be celebrating that sale for sure.
That's
so
correct.
Obviously, like you said, the
open houses,
busy
absolutely,
open
houses.
Yeah, busy open houses.
The buyers will walk in and they say, "Oh my God, there's so many people. So what am I missing out on?" Right?
Yeah, for sure. So
we pick up on what other people are doing in the market. Unfortunately or fortunately, but that's the nature of the business. At the end of the day, it really depends on the buyer's needs, but it's time to buy. I will not get tired of saying this now.
Yeah. So again, those indicators, watch out for them. And the best thing to do, I think, is always get the professional advice of a real estate agent and what those indicators are going to be. Sit down with them, go through with them, and at the same time, obviously, look for your pre-approval. Make sure you're going out there knowing how much that that affordability is going to be for yourselves, and that's where you and I come together and make sure that the buyers and even the listers, for that matter, are prepared to to get into the market. So awesome, thank you. That was amazing. When we talk about interest rates, right, there's always an impact on interest rates, and it does definitely affect the home prices. And that's because of, again, it's going to be by obviously supply and demand. If you were to say how interest rates impact a buyer's demand, I know it might be a basic question, but maybe just give us a little bit of what you think that when the consumer is looking at interest rate, does that entice them? And I'm sure it does. For you, from your experience, do the clients come to you because they're seeing the drop in interest rates? Is that the first thing that they're looking at? Or is it just at that time, is that their need that they request, they need a home at that time? Interest rates may not play as big of a factor.
I find in the industry lately that when the buyer was looking for a certain type of property, right? Let's call it a single detached home. Now they're looking maybe for the same single detached home, but with a rental income,
right,
where they can rent out the basement for the time being while the interest rates are higher. And then once the interest rates go down, they can convert it back to a single family home. So in the past, probably year, I'd say, a lot of buyers have shifted their mind from, okay, we will buy the property, but we would like some sort of income, rental income, on the property. Sometimes also another way that interest rates affected the purchasers in their purchasing power. For $500,000, you'd be able to buy a 500 square feet. Now they say, okay, with the interest rate being higher, I can only afford $400,000, right? Because the carrying cost of the property plus the maintenance plus the property tax, it's all adds up.
Right.
But given the interest rates being higher in the last year, we have seen the prices go down. So there are, once again, some great opportunities are out there.
Okay, awesome. So obviously, there certainly is an impact with interest rates that affect the buyer in the market. And as you said, there's more and more. It would seem, given sort of the state of the economy, the additional revenue or income that some of the purchasers are looking for, Some might be the basement apartments that they get that secondary income to help pay for their mortgages. But certainly, the buyer, the consumer, are looking for the best deal, the best interest rate,
Absolutely.
which in the end, it is going to cost them less and less with a lower interest rate. So amazing. Thank you for that as well.
Thank you.
There's also trends that tend to predict the market. What do you feel? What type of trends do you see coming within the next 6 or 12 months that could impact the market? Is there any specific trend that you might see or you feel, in your own opinion, that may affect even your own buyers themselves through conversations that you've had with your buyers that may affect their purchasing, either purchasing power or maybe their thought of purchasing something? Is there a trend there that you see coming?
I have noticed in the last 3 years, I would say, that a lot of buyers are multi-family purchasers. So there's not only one family that's moving in, they're joining forces together, let's say parents and kids, and they're trying to buy together something bigger, something nicer, and where they can share the expense of living in the property. Have you noticed any of the buyers that would come to you for the pre-approval that they're actually pulling together into the property?
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely seeing more and more purchases with multi-families purchasing one property. It's kind of dates back to the day when we immigrated, and a lot, we had a few families purchasing, and nothing, not to blame anybody, but obviously the way the markets and over the years, real estate has gone crazy, and now it dipped with the interest rates over the last year that were slightly higher than what we all had anticipated over the years. Certainly, we're finding now that families are getting together, looking for the multi-unit residentials, looking for the basement apartment to help, obviously, subsidize some of those costs that come with these higher interest rates.
And as you know, I've been in the pre-construction business a lot and selling a lot of pre-construction condos and opportunities. And lately, once again, I have noticed, I would say in the last year, where the buyer, consumers, they shifted from the pre-construction over to the resale.
Right.
Because resale is so much cheaper and actually it makes sense to buy. We know the benefits of the pre-construction and such. You're put down 5, 10, 15% depending on the builder. You wait for 3-4 years, hoping that the project is not canceled. But right now I'm seeing actually much better deals on the market. And some of my investors would say, Elena, should I invest into the pre-construction? So where before I would be like, yep, sure, let's buy into this project, into that project. Lately, I've been like, why don't we look outside of the box and see if it makes sense for them to purchase a resale versus the pre-con.
So would you say that, seeing that you're an expert on pre-con, and I've known you that over the years you've done extremely well, and so have your buyers done extremely well with the pre-cons. There's a lot of questions right now arising around whether or not it would be a good time to buy pre-construction right now. Do you still see pre-construction as being the way to either invest or as an end user waiting for the next 3-4 years and hope that there's that appreciation? So give us a little bit of insight. I know you've got some projects on the go, some great projects that you're on sale, and you can tell us a little bit about them, where they are, and certainly if our viewers are paying attention, take a look at what Elena has. And I can tell you, and it's kind of off track here a little bit, I've invested in the past with Elena over the years, and I can say, knock on wood, thank you very much, Elena. We've done extremely well with those pre-cons. So going back to that question, what do you think? Would it still be a good investment to be purchasing pre-cons right now?
The only pre-cons that I can recommend, and it's been my type of methodology, is the ones that I truly believe in. And unfortunately, downtown Toronto is right now a little bit way too pricey for what I think it should be at. But outside of Toronto, in suburbs such as Niagara Falls, Hamilton, Milton areas, talking that way, or if we're talking Scarborough as well, or even as far as Calgary.
Right.
Calgary has unbelievable deals right now. At 500,000, you can purchase 1,200 square feet unit with 4,000 rental guarantee for 2 years.
Yeah.
You cannot find a deal like that anymore in Toronto, right? Or there are some actually great commercial condos available at 401 and 404. So if anybody's interested, I can also share some details in there. So there's still great deals out there. You just really have to sit down, break it all apart, and make sure you have enough for closing, because previously we could just roll it, assign it. Assignments are becoming harder and harder these days, as we know,
of course,
in the industry. So whenever purchasing pre-construction, I just make sure that they go through Anthony, and we make sure that they're able to close and hold on for the property if there is a market change for at least 2-3 years until they actually can get a great return on their investment, or hold on for indefinitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Until I say, you know what, the per square footage price is almost at $1. We have to sell, move on to the next project.
Yeah, and you said something really interesting, because we're licensed in seven provinces across the country, and Alberta is on fire right now, as you mentioned, right? So obviously they've got a lot of resources out there to kind of insulate themselves from what's happening right now. But we do see a lot of migration moving over to Alberta. A lot of investors are moving to Alberta as well because of their market. So it's that you mentioned Alberta right now. We've got agents in Calgary right now. They're going gangbusters. They're going gangbusters. So I wonder, certainly a great market. And if you do have some intel about Calgary and any investments in Calgary, we'd certainly like to hear about them. And anything else. But
just also one more thing about the pre-construction. You gotta make sure you're investing with the right builder. If we're looking out in that area, so Truman Homes is the company that I trust, and we've been investing with them for the past 8 years, and they have an absolutely amazing product on the market at great pricing and great, we call them freebies, discounted parkings, lockers, assignment options, and so on and so forth.
Okay, great. So there's certainly a lot of great deals out there, and Elena Day is the professional who you want to speak to, whether it's in Ontario, whether it's in Alberta. We certainly have your expertise that we can count on. Elena, it's been a pleasure to speak to you today. Thank you for your insight. We certainly appreciate the little the little nuggets that you provided for us. But why don't you tell us where you are and how they can connect with you? Phone number, emails.
So I can be reached at Elena at elenadayhomes.com. That's my email. Instagram, it's Elena Day Homes. Same as for LinkedIn, it's Elena Day Homes. My direct line is 416-274-1909.
Thank you, Elena. Appreciate it. And we're certainly happy that you were our first guest on Real Estate Meets Finance. So thank you to all the viewers. We appreciate you tuning in. Once again, thank you. My name is Anthony Contento. I am the president of Sherwood Mortgage Group. We appreciate you viewing, and we look forward to the next episode.